Hi, welcome to the MTA in Software Development Fundamentals. My name is Ciara McKenna and I'm one of the e-tutors on the software and the database course, and you can contact me either through my email or through Moodle messaging. I just want to introduce this course. It's 15 weeks long and it comprises of 1 to 6 lessons. If I scroll down, you can see we have 1 to 6 lessons. And you can also see that I've divided lesson 1 into 2 parts. And the reason for that is because lesson 1 and lesson 2 really comprise most of the coding that you will be doing. So if you're very new to software and you've never done it before, in lesson 1, this is the general layout of each lesson. But in lesson 1, we have a C# video series tutorials, and it goes from very scratch, a very start of creating your first ever program to something a bit more complex. So in general, all the lessons have learning objectives for this section. And if you want to make sure that you've completely understood lesson 1, you should know all these objectives. I've provided extra tutorials, video tutorials and web links, and each lesson will have an assignment which I will mark. And at the very end we'll have a self-assessment quiz, and the main reason we have such an emphasis on quizzes is because the final exam is actually a multiple choice exam. So how do we practice for this exam? Well, we have this tool called Measure Up. And Measure Up simulates what the exam will look like, and it's not exactly the exam, but it's similar to the exam. So let me see if I'm in here, and I just launch this. So this will just give you a quick look to see what the exam will look like. So if I go resume test. So for example, if I have a question here and I haven't got the answer, all I do is I click on the answer and it actually tells me it, and it gives me links for further information about that topic. So the Measure Up is also a great tool to study with as well. So I've been talking about course essentials, so let's go back into that section itself. And as I'm going along here, I just want you to see that we have live online lectures, and these are webinars which you can connect into, and you can watch the lecture happening, and you can also chat to the tutor, which in this case will most likely be me. And I will usually do these every Tuesday at around 11:30, but you will be notified a week in advance of these lectures. Let's have a look at the course essentials. So we already talked about the Measure Up key. So there is also an ebook which you can, after 2 weeks of being on this course and active on this course, we will give you an ebook which is an online book, and you can download it and it'll install a little application. So if I just show you here, it installs a little application like this, and if I open it up, here's my software development book. And you can also see it's lesson 1 to lesson 6, and those lessons map directly to the lessons that are on Moodle. And it's quite nice because you're able to copy and paste information from here. So copy and paste code, and you can use that code when you're working in Visual Studio. So that brings me to the next thing, is that there is one thing that you will have to install, apart from the ebook, will be the C# program tool. And there's an explanation here about how you install the Microsoft Visual Studio 2013. I actually have installed Visual Studio Express for desktop, and I believe this is 2012. Yes, it is. And just show you a general console application. So you will create a program here, and most of your code will be in the main method here, and we literally go start and your console will come up with whatever you've programmed it to do. So just minimize that. If you are using a Mac, there is also a solution for how you can run and install Visual Studio using this mono develop, so you can work on your C# code, because that's the coding language that you're going to learn. Now there's another key resource, is the Learn Key videos. So if I just look at these and open them up. So some people do have issues with it. I'm using Chrome, but you can use Firefox or IE. I do know Safari for Mac users has an issue, but you can install Chrome for Mac as well. So if I look at here, I've got database, well, software, that's what we want. So double click and I go into session 1 and we go training. And this is where Microsoft have supplied all these videos and all the topics that we want to look at, which is quite nice. So I'll just give an example. Say we'll look at loops. Oh, I'm obviously just clicked on data types by mistake. We'll come down here. Can I do it? Okay, so I find these really, really useful, and they are available 24/7, which is great. So you can learn at your own time. Okay, so we've covered ebook, measure up, the Learn Key videos, and the next thing is one of the most important parts is your ILP, Individual Learning Plan. So if this course is 15 weeks long, you need to set aside time to study. Say you're going to do lesson 1 and you're going to take week 1 to 3 and you're going to outline all those objectives. You're going to learn each individual, say you're going to learn loops in week 3, and then you can test your knowledge by doing some of the quizzes at the end of each lesson. So the ILP really gives you a timeline, and you're setting your own timeline of what you're going to learn and when you're going to learn it. So you do need to have an end date in mind, because otherwise you're just not going to finish this course. And we do want you to finish this course because there's lots of other courses that lead into this. So the main thing I want you to get from this is that you have a large number of tools in your course essentials, and we also have our lessons 1 and lessons 2, 3, all the way to 6 all mapped out for you. And we also have weekly videos, and we can also set up one-to-one webinars with people who are having, with students who are having issues with anything on this course. Just the last thing to say, we have a calendar on the left hand side, and when there is a lecture or there's some event occurring, it will actually be flagged up as in a little box here, like you can see here. Okay, that's great. Thank you very much.